All right, we're back. And boy, are we not salty anymore. Let's grab that Lyra. This card, if you don't know why, is the best card here because it's a 5/5 flyer for 5 that has first strike, flying, and lifelink, and then some other text that doesn't do anything. But it's still pretty good. Pick 2. Do we Adeliz and just go straight America? Okay. Adeliz is certainly the most powerful card here in this pack. The Skin Witch, the Thallid are both very good. Juggernaut's alright. Deep Freeze is okay. Am I going to allow chat voting on this? Sure. Let's enable... Oh, chat is voting on this. I had it enabled. I just wasn't looking at it. Maybe we'll just keep that working. That seems like a good system. Chat voting is allowed. Here we are. What do you guys want? So Adeliz is really greedy. I think with Lyra, what you want is a consistent deck to support winning the game with Lyra. Seems nice. The cards I'm most interested in here are Skin Witch and Thallid. Skin Witch is just always good, and Thallid's pretty much always good. Juggernaut and Adeliz are a little bit higher power, but we're going to play Lyra in any deck we build. And we might not play Adeliz in a deck that features Lyra, because Lyra is double white and Adeliz is blue-red. Do I need to talk more? That's not quite true, Toast Smasher. I pay attention. I look at what you guys want. I try to talk you into being reasonable people. Thallid's a nice creature. It's a 3/2. It almost always trades for something and then leaves behind a body. Black-white is fine. There's Dampening Sphere. Or Damping. It's not even a dampening. It's whatever the fuck damping is. What is damping? It makes things wet? It's damping. Oh, not camping. Thank you, autocorrect. What is damping? Is that a word? A decrease in the amplitude of an oscillation as a result of energy being drained from the system to overcome friction or other resistive force. Short for damping off. I'm just jacking.
Damping.
Oh, and it's said in a child's, like, creepy child voice.
Damping.
Yeah, I could see that killing the oscillations in the room. We're gonna use that. You don't need a rape whistle, you need a damping sphere. Alright, what are we doing? Chat is on Adamant Will still. All right, I was trying to give you time to get to Deathbloom Thallid. All right, we got there, chat. Well done. All right, we are black-white. We already have a Lyra. Do you want to play Arvid? Arvid's not great, but it's another lifelinker. Death Touch might get us there. Other legendaries are bigger. The best card in the pack is the Journey Mage. The second best card in the pack is the Journey Mage, and the third best card in the pack is probably the Dub. But Arvid's okay. I'll play Arvid over Dub if I'm already black-white. You can commit to this. Okay, Arvid. Chat loves legendaries, so I assume it's Arvid. Fine. Why black-white so quick? Because the second best card in the second pack was black, and then the best card in the third pack was black-white. So that's why black-white so quick. All right, Adamant Will versus Omnivore. Omnivore is a great card. It's better in a green-black than it is white-black, but it's still okay. Adamant Will is a totally reasonable combat trick. It's good, but not amazing. Tiana's pretty bad. Growth from Ashes is great if you're green. The rest of these cards are much lower tier. So the picks here between Adamant Will, Omnivore, that's probably about it. Tiana is an angel. Gets +1/+1 in lifelinking from Lyra. So that's exciting. You guys are on the Omnivore plan? Okay. Fine with that. All right. Next pick is Acolyte. Oh, wait. I'm supposed to give you options. It's Acolyte. There's a very weak argument for Blood Talisman Candle, but we're in black-white, which has the most removal in the set. We have Vicious Offering, Blessed Light, Gideon's, Settle the Score, and Eviscerate, and Fungal Infection. Did I miss any? Probably missed one or two. But we probably don't want to take a candle this early. Windgrace Acolyte's great because what it does is it puts your Lyra into the graveyard. It's pretty much guaranteed. You cast this, you gain 3 life, put Lyra in your graveyard. It's kind of a win-win. All right, options here. Healing Grace. It's a card. It has text on it. That's what it has going for it. Drudge Sentinel, also a card with text on it. Less text, though, so less good than Healing Grace. And Lingering Phantom. Card with the most text on it besides Flame of Kel. The most text in our color, I guess, is what I'm getting at with Lingering Phantom here. So, any of these are the right option. You pick any one of those. Lingering Phantom? Well played, chat. All right. Invoke the Divine. Oh, and another damping sphere. In case we need, let's get that red again.
Damping.
Damping. Neat. Invoke the Divine's pretty good here. It's best of one. It's still good enough to play, though. Let's kick that. All right. Another Invoke the Divine. Probably not. I don't want to run two of them. It's not sideboard capable. I won't main deck two Invoke the Divines to start with. So we have Blessing versus an uncommon draft. Honestly, Blessing may as well be an uncommon draft. Our two legendaries already have lifelink, and +2/+1 as a combat trick is fucking terrible. So we really don't want to play that card. We're not playing a second one of these. So we're gonna take the uncommon because uncommons. All right, moving on. Soul Salvage is right where we'd like to be here. I love Shield of the Realm. Dub is okay, but we have a Lyra. We want something like Soul Salvage. More importantly than a Lyra, we have a Windgrace Acolyte. So we desperately need something to bring Lyra back from the graveyard when Acolyte removes it. So Shield's okay, but Soul Salvage is pretty nuts for this. I will permit that. Joe. What's the command, chat? I need my moderators. What's the command to add people to regulars? I'm fine with my my subs posting links, which means that I need that. All right, Divest is a little bit better than like Duress for mainboarding. It sometimes will hit a creature. Still not really a card we want to play. We're not that into white right now. We're kind of black with splashing some white cards right now. I think I would probably take the
Damping.
sphere, but that's just me. Probably to build up my wild card collection, but I can be talked into either. You guys let me know. You want Divest? All right, we'll put that straight to the sideboard where it will never come out again. These cards are all bad. I'll take the Navigator's Compass. There's a chance we want some fixing. This is an uncommon, so that's going in there. This card is more fun and I hate it, so let's rare draft it, or hate draft it rather. All right, next pick. Ooh, I know some of you are going to get tripped up here because there's two things that we want here. One of them is an angel. It's a flying vigilant angel. Lyra will make it into a 5/5, and then it will lifelink and be vigilant for a 5/5, which is great. Imagine that scenario where we're already sitting with Lyra on the board, or maybe we play Serra Angel first, and our opponent goes, oh, I have no answer to Serra Angel. Now let's imagine the perfect scenario. Our opponent somehow snuck a giant but not mammoth spider into the deck. No, a mammoth spider, which is actually part of this playthrough, part of Dominaria. So he's sitting with a 3/5 blocker. He has no combat tricks. He has no hand. He doesn't draw cards. And we're sitting there going, how do we win? We have Serra Angel. He has a 3/5 spider. There's no way we could possibly win. And then we top deck Lyra, who we play, making our Serra Angel into a 5/5 lifelinker, and we go, yes, the game is ours. We did it, chat. Oh, I'm not fooling you? Okay, I see manipulated it is. By far. Much better than Serra. It'd be nice to have the combo with Lyra, but this card is just disgusting. It's add regulars. Thanks. All right, do we want another Arvid? I kind of want Cloud Rider, Sphinx, or Jousting Lance more than Arvid. We definitely don't want Sanctum Spirit. Even Sentry's okay. I would play another Arvid, I suppose. It's not particularly exciting. But, maybe. Maybe. Jousting Lance is pretty good. Do we have creatures that like to joust? I mean, Deathbloom Thalids are like natural-born jousters. Tough to say no to a... Do we want another 5-drop? How about Confessor? How about not Confessor? I don't like Confessor very much. Curve does suck. I don't really want another 5-drop, particularly. I really like Confessors, though. Kind of want that Lance. And pick other things. Arvid's a good jouster. I mean, yeah, he gains life and does death and lifelink, so he's certainly good. Yep. With first strike. Could discard Lyra to... Yeah, I could discard Lyra to save Sanctum Spirit, and then next turn cast Soul Salvage. It'd be pretty sick. What are we picking? Chat, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think if really the best option is always to pick the Legendary or not. I'm going to give you a second to think about that. Do we want the Lance, or do we want Arvid? Remember, I'm on a losing streak from ridiculous sealed RNG, and I would like to win some games and not rage quit Magic for all time. So, no pressure. No pressure. Oh, Jousting Lance took a little bump. Probably unrelated to our talk. Great. Let's take Jousting Lance. Good talk. Okay. Gideon's Reproach. Vicious Offering. Chainer's Torment. Sarah Disciple. Best card in this pack is probably the Vicious Offering. Holler and Elfheim Druid are both decent. Growth from Ashes is quite good too. Gideon's is decent as removal, but not as good as Vicious Offering. Chainer's Torment is an aggressive card that almost always fucks you, but occasionally wins you the game. So it's kind of like 90% fuck you, 10% win the game. 5% win the game. 95% fuck you. Well, around those odds. Right about that number. We'd have to ask MTG bot to get the exact odds, but it's pretty close. So anyone not on Vicious Offering? A couple of you want Gideon's. Gideon's just basically worse Vicious Offering, chat. So we're going to take Vicious Offering. Okay. Chat's favorite. The Frog Champion himself. Probably my third pick out of this pack. So, and if I'm all colors, probably my 7th pick out of this pack. So, Calico Skin Witch. Look at our curve. The only card we don't need is more 5-drops. So we have no 2-drops yet. So Skin Witch as both a 2-drop and a late game 6-drop is great. Gideon's as removal. Granted, situational removal, but removal in our colors is great. Fungal Infection, decent little combat trick. Has synergies with our Jousting Lance as well as our Vicious Offering. Pretty decent already. We could splash blue for another removal piece. Not my favorite removal piece, but it's there. Other than that, we could splash green for a very strong 3-drop. We're missing 3-drops. We could pick anything except Yargle. How's chat doing? Chat's not just slamming Yargle? Oh my god, chat, you're responsible. Thank God for that. All right, what do you have? Calico Skin Witch versus Fungal Infection? Yes. So Yargle's a big dude. And if we have Arvid, he's a bigger dude and he lifelinks. And it would be amazing, but it never happens. So don't get excited about it. Always what happens is he trades for Knight of New Benalia, the 3-1. Yargle's nemesis, the Knight of New Benalia. In fact, she's riding up in that picture right there, about to kill Yargle. It's really awkward. So Skin Witch, I'm with you guys. Go. All right. Here we've got some interesting options. So I really like Pegasus. So the options here are Pegasus Courser versus Baird, if anyone's not clear on that. Pegasus Courser's great. Really solid card. Problem is in Dominaria, it's probably the worst Dominaria than it is in any of the 3 sets that run it right now, M19, Ravnica, and Dominaria. And it's just because there's a lot of 3-power blockers in air. There's the Windgray's Acolytes, the Aven Sentries, the Spiders. There's just a lot of 3-power flyers. So Pegasus Courser is a little worse than it would be otherwise, but it's still okay. And then there's Baird. I think it's probably Baird here. I don't love this guy, but this is about where you want to see him, right? About pick 7 or pick 5 or whatever the hell it happens to be. Like, not great, but he's okay. Yeah, we have some historic synergy stuff, but no way to play him off. But let's grab it. Let's grab it. No. Cabal Paladin, no. No, chat, no. No. Just no. All right. What do we want next? There's nothing in our color. Second Invoke Divine, not good enough. Feral Abomination, pretty unexciting. We already have a top end of heavy creatures that are much better than Feral Abomination, including Lingering Phantom with the number of historics we have. So I would probably here just take an uncommon for the collection, which would probably be a hate draft on Champion of the Flame. Because seriously, fuck that card. I don't think there's any world in which we play Feral Abomination. I'd rather play the Phantom. The better, it's basically equivalent to that creature. Not always. There's a couple cases where the Death Touch is relevant, but we have a bunch of historics, so the Lingering Phantom already has the synergies. I think I am going to take the uncommon. So I'll save you guys the issue. But we're not ever playing Power Stone Shard, chat. There's just no reason to ever play this in this deck. So let's hate draft the champion. Card's ridiculous when it gets going. All right, Baird number 2 or Sergeant at Arms. We don't have any 3-drops or 2. We have 1 3-drop and 1 2-drop. I would be okay with a second Baird. It'll push us pretty solidly into white. It's not a bad card. It's good anti-aggro. You don't want too many of them, but we do have an Arvid. I'm okay with the second one here. We got to start worrying about our curve a lot next pack, though, if we do that. But if you want to take the Sergeant at Arms, we can take that. I think I'd probably second Baird over Sergeant at Arms. The power level is just a lot higher on Baird. Yeah, you get a kicker Sergeant at Arms, and it's okay, and it feeds your Omnivore some of the time. It's not terrible. But Baird's pretty good. Makes it very hard for your opponent to aggress against you early. And that's one of the ways we can lose is get overrun before we can stop it. Dredge Sentinel is not really playable. It's a 3-mana 2-1 that for 3 mana sometimes does something useful, but most of the time just annoys you and you have to pay 3 mana for it. You really don't want to be in a game where you're playing Dredge Sentinel. Okay. Baird? Alright, Baird it is. Alright, next up, Dub, Rat Colony, or Final Parting. What does this card even fucking do? Search your library for 2 cards. Put one into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Then shuffle your library. I mean, if we're playing Yargle, it would have its place. We could just put him straight in the graveyard and save having to cast him. It only costs us 5 mana to do it.
A renewal.
That's not bad.
Welcome back.
But we didn't pick Yargle, so
4
this
months
card's
since I came back. Thanks
probably not
for all
there.
the great content.
Thank you, Angel. Appreciate the resub. I'm probably on dub here. I'm okay with 1 dub. I don't know if we'll play it yet, but a Lyra tutor seems good, but it's a 5 mana tutor. And I don't think so. like it's already so fucking slow. Most of the time it just sits in our hand and does nothing. I'm not excited about it. Yeah, I can search for the Angel, but I don't think that's good enough. Sick dub. Okay. All right, Trapper's right where we want to be. We have a fuck ton of Historics. It's also a 3-drop. We want that. We're not splashing red for Tiana. The rest of these cards are garbage. Not in our colors either. Trapper's an easy pick. I won't even waste your time with it. This is a little bit more interesting. I don't like Sanctum Spirit. Particularly, we have a bunch of better 4-drops. Although we have a shit ton of Historics, we could discard Lyra to make Sanctum Spirit and hit indestructible to end of turn. And we could do that in response to a Vicious Offering, so it does nothing. In the same way that people sometimes do Craving Indestructible with the little Avanto Vanguard dude, Adanto Vanguard. Or we could take the Serra Disciple. It's a pretty mediocre creature, but we do have a fair number of legendaries at this point. Historics. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Historics. It's not that many. I'm probably not playing the Disciple still, but maybe. This is, however, a 3/2 lifelinker. Maybe this could do something with that. All right. Disciple. Chat wants Disciple. Sure. We'll pick it. Hope not to play it. All right. Same option. Hilariously, the Elephant is not terrible here. We have 2 pretty high value icy. We have 2 fairly high value artifacts. I probably don't want to play a 3/5 body when I'm already playing Baird, but maybe. We could have a second Disciple, or we could have Icy Manipulator recursion. If we are playing best of 3s, I would take the Elephant here for the sideboard. And I would, if my opponent was running Artifact Destruction, I would play Elephant. Because Icy is good enough that it will win the game if your opponent doesn't have an answer to it. As you saw when 2 of our opponents in our last run through played Ices versus us and beat the shit out of us with them. So I'm okay with either. You guys want Disciples? All right, I'm take a Disciple. It's pretty close, but I'm not probably main decking that. I'm probably not main decking 2 Disciples, but there's a world in which we can. Surprisingly, Yargle Wield. I don't understand. All right. Cruel Cabal Paladin versus Healing Grace. We don't want Healing Grace, and we don't want Cruel Cabal Paladin particularly. We do now have, I think, 8 historic triggers. 6 historic triggers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 historic triggers. But we don't want it. We don't want that card, chat. Oh my god, chat. We don't want that card. Fine. I'll pick this card, and I'll remove it later when you aren't looking. Huh. Do we want Eldest Reborn or an Elephant? Elephants have long trunks. Sometimes you can get Ivory, which is a useful resource in some building-related acquisitions. You can trade elephants, generally for salt, if you are starting in a shitty start in Civilization 5. All these things are pros of Excavation Elephant. Alternatively, we could take a card that 3-for-1's your opponent. Seems like it'd be fine. Also, Historic Synergies. Damn, you guys are on that page, not the Elephant. Tried the pep talk, didn't work. All right, Short Sword's not terrible when you have 2 Serra Disciples. 2/2 flyers are much more dangerous than 1/1 flyers. There's also a Sergeant at Arms, and there's a Morrow to Glory. Deck is getting a little fat right now. We're at 21 cards, so we only have 2 more cards we'd like in the deck, and so far all of our cards can be played, except really the Paladins and the Disciples. We need some more 2-drops and 3-drops to survive the early game. Sergeant's a pretty good 3-drop. That's also a mediocre 6-drop. I'm okay with that. I don't really like Memorial to Glory that much. It's okay, but it's probably not as good as the Sergeant. And the Short Sword's okay too. I probably would pick up Sergeant here. I could be talked maybe into Short Sword. Maybe. But what we actually need is early game creatures to survive. And then we beat the shit out of them with all of our value legendaries. Don't want too much equipment. That's true. I forgot we already had the Jousting Lance. We probably don't want a Jousting Lance and a Short Sword ever. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Smithy. Okay, grab the Sergeant. Sounds good. Yeah, Citizen, I'm still looking for a decent emote. I want a curves emote. Like a beautiful girl, and it just curves emote, and then we could spam that every time we're building stuff here. So this card in this pack by a million miles is the Wrath. The Goblin Chainwhirler is not actually a thing in Limited particularly. Strong card, but it's not that strong there, and it's difficult to cast on 3 red. You're almost never going to be monocolored. The Knight of New Benalia is whatever. The Benalish Honor Guard is actually fairly decent with our sets since we have a million guys who pump it. But I probably want the Colicav. I don't know. We're a little bit low on 2 drops. There's an argument for the Honor Guard. Trades early, late game, it's like a 4-2 or something. It could be okay. Can you equip multiple weapons on the same creature? Yes. I probably would take the Benalish Knight here. But this card is really good. And this card is pretty solidly mediocre. So. Honor Guard? The 4-drop doesn't seem worth it. Well, we're not playing this 4-drop. I'll just remove this from here. Make it easier. Another 4-drop's okay. Again, I like the Knight tokens. I'm pretty pleased with them. We probably want 1 more 2-drop, 1 more 3-drop. Do you think we're getting a better 2-drop at this point? Probably not. What draft tonight, Smitty? Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more in Discord. All right. Hey, you saw that? Put it back? No one saw that. You want the Honor Guard? Fine. I think that's a close pick. Do we want 3rd Serra Disciple? No one wants 3rd Serra Disciple. We could rare draft Antiquities where I don't have one, and eventually there's going to be decks that use this again because it's cool. Kind of be nice. Means I don't have to craft it later. We're not playing any of these cards. I'm never playing 3 Disciples, and I'm not playing a Sanctum Spirit. Even with the number of Historics we have. Still not playable. In draft, do you ever want to discard your good cards to give it indestructible once? Fuck no. You guys are with me on the Antiquities War? Good. We'll get some fun jank deck at some point. Rare draft easy. Done. All right. We have another Trapper. It's a 3-drop or a Fungal Infection. Both those are pretty good. So, what do we have with that? There's also a Voltaic Servant Icy value, but we're probably not going to play that. So, another Trapper is a 3-drop is fine. Fungal Infection, they're both fine. Either is fine. What's the currently at 22 cards? It's probably our 23rd playable either way. Do you guys want other stuff? Probably not. I mean, having the Trappers is good for tapping down blockers. So we're missing Combat Tricks and Removal right now is the problem with this deck. So we have neither, which means that we just have to be like honest with our creatures. We've got 1 Vicious Offering, 1 Eldest Reborn. And we missed all the Eviscerates, all the Blessed Lights. We got an Icy Manipulator too. I guess with no removal, I'm a little bit, and no combat tricks, I'm pushed a little bit towards Fungal Infection, maybe. Or maybe I'm just pushed more to Trapper to take out their blockers. I guess either is still good. I'll let you decide, chat. This can be your first decision. I mean, this is the 25th pick of the pack. I mean, you guys can decide again. That's what I was trying to say. Fungal Infection? Sure. All on the Fungal Infection plane. We have quite a few historic triggers now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 9. We have 9 historic triggers. That's 1 in 4 of our cards is a historic. Does that make anyone more excited about Trapper? No? Just saying. No, I'm just saying. Doesn't have to be. Alright. Fungal Infection still? Fine. Trapper then? I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just trying to present the alternatives. It'd be nice to have some combat tricks. Do we have anything in our sideboard for combat tricks? No. 1 Trapper is less than 2 Trappers. You, sir, are a mathematician, aren't you? Go for the correct choice. This is chat's only decision. We got to give him full stuff. Pretty, I mean, it's a mediocre combat trick, right? I think it's quick draft. I think we're probably taking the Trapper. All right. Chat's still on Fungal. All right. I gotta listen to chat this one time. Hey, look, there's a late Atlas. Do we want a dude, or dude, or the uncommon? Yeah, there's valid omnivore synergy with the Fungal Infection. That's true. There's winning synergy with the 9. I mean, What you just told me, Citizen, is we have one creature that benefits from fungal infection, and we have 9 triggers for a tap effect for hitting them. All right, Sparring Construct is pulling ahead here. We're not playing Sparring Construct in this deck, chat. Don't get excited about it. It's not happening. We're not playing Evangels, and we're not playing Knight of New Benalia. So I guess the correct answer is Atala's. Sold. Okay. All right, next up. Thorn Elemental is an uncommon. Tragic Poet to recur our Eldest Reborn for the infinite combo. Full control. You bring back the poet. Sack it. Do it again. What do you guys want? Demonic Vigor. It's a bomb. This card is like a real card, except it doesn't work. So you put it on a creature, they exile it, you get 2 for 1 every time. The value. Tragic Poet. I would convince people. All right, fine. We're not playing anyways. We might play it. We probably won't, though. All right. Blessing of Beslanok. We have a lot of legendaries at this point. It's actually maybe not the world's worst combat trick in this deck. It's a pretty bad card, but it might be the difference between our creature dying or not. What do you guys want? Charge, chat says. All right, chat. The number of cards that we're not playing in this deck are charge. Still on charge. We're not on charge, chat. We're not doing it. There's no way I play charge for this. All right. Good. I'm glad charge stopped going up. All right. Awkward. We're not playing 2 of these. I'm not playing this card. And I'm not playing 2 of those. So that means we're going to take the uncommon. All right. Uncommon. Uncommon. What's the best artwork here? So, do I have a screen capture of this one anywhere? So there's a photo of me when I was visiting Hawaii, and I'm standing at the top of, this was we were in, oh my god, what island was it? Why am I blanking on the island name? Can't think of the island name. We're standing at the top of this volcano. It's like super high on the island, and you can see both sides you can see the water on both sides of the island. And it's, my wife snapped a photo of me when I wasn't aware of it. I was standing at the edge, kind of looking down over it, and it looks kind of like this, except I'm much closer to the edge, and it's much cooler artwork. Or rather, much cooler setting than that artwork is, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of it. So there's this guy who's rescuing burning books from a building, probably because this is probably a little bit further down. The dismissive pyromancers throwing things out and burning them, and this guy's like the librarian. So his artwork's kind of mediocre. Radiated lightning looks. I mean, there's a guy being turned into a skeleton, or maybe you can see his skeleton as the radiated lightning hits him. So that's kind of amusing. But this one reminds me of a really nice time, a really fun time I had with my wife. So I'm going to put this one in the deck. That's how you pick that one, by the way. That's how you break ties like that. Now we can have the Cake Maker, who thinks he's tough now because he can climb trees. Or we can have the Radiated Lightning, where the skeleton's getting electrocuted again. I think we're taking that one. I mean, seriously, you got it. You got a bunch of tattoos. You got some face paint and tattoos. You think you're badass now because you can fucking climb trees. My cat can climb trees. Oh, wait, no cat. Just kidding. All right. We're good? All right, 42 cards. We're going to put the Paladin in so we can cut it in a second. We'll put the Divest in so we can cut it in a second. Let's build our deck, chat. So we managed to draft no removal and 1 combat trick. So that's not great. So we're playing a fairly honest deck. And playing fucking honest decks is not where you want to be. You want to have all the removal. You want to be like, your opponent goes like, I play my bomb. You go, your bomb is dead. Not only is it dead, it's exiled. Not only is it exiled, I wipe it from your memory. And I wipe all copies of it from all decks across the planet. So basically that's what you want to do when your opponent plays bombs. We're going to be like, I fungal infection it. So it's a little bit awkward. We need 4 cards out. The 4 cards that are most likely to be cut for me are Yargle, because I just refuse to play this card in principle. Cruel Paladin, or Cabal Paladin for the same reason. I think he should be called Cruel Paladin, by the way. Like, that's just a better name. Just wandering around being cruel to things. Like, it should be him, but his horse is kicking a puppy. Like, there should just be like a puppy right in the front of it, flying ahead of the card where it's been kicked. Also Dub. And one of the disciples. And the Tragic Poet. The Blessing. The Divest. Okay. So we'll cut these 8. Go down to 36 and call it a day. What's our legendary sources? We have a couple 2-drops there. Good 3-drops. We only 5 played there. We probably want a little bit more. Sources of historics are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 historics. We're gonna have to play one of these fucking disciples. It is our flyers. I guess it's okay. Feels bad to get no value out of the lance. I'm not playing Divest. We really don't need the paladin. Yargle, it's playable, but only just. Why not Poet? We could cut Poet. I don't think there's a really good reason to be playing Poet in this deck. It only recurs the Eldest Reborn. It's kind of a jank combo. When we getting there. So we need one of these 3 out. I don't love, I mean, normally this would be such an easy blessing cut. I would just fall over myself removing that. But the issue is really with our deck, we don't have removal. So we're trying to cheat. And one of the ways you can cheat is combat tricks. No. You play Cabal Paladin when you have every other card in your deck is already a historic. So if you're running 22 historics in Cabal Paladin, I'd give it a consideration for the 23rd card. Cut Yargle, bring back Paladin. I mean, Paladin is going to be, Yargle and Paladin are going to be the same card in this deck. They're going to do exactly the same thing. They're going to trade with a 3/1. Cut a Disciple. We could cut a Disciple. I don't love the card, but it is chip damage. We do have a Jousting Lance and an Ice Manipulator. It is often going to be 2/2. Cut the Demon Frog or dub. Yeah. I think I might run the dub. Cut Yargle. What does this do to our creature count? 14 creatures plus an Eldest Reborn. We're running 2 pump spell or two pump effects. Paladin's better than Yargle. Have you guys lost your love of Yargle? Normally chat's all about Yargle love. Dub has reverse synergy. I don't really want to run dub either. Fuck. Dub is better with cards like Yargle too. The first strike is relevant. I mean, these cards are okay with first strike, and we have Jousting Lance and dub. Do we want to cut a Disciple instead? A 11/3 first striker is kind of hilarious. Yargle needs removal. Yargle needs something. Dub fits nowhere. Dub fits on Baird. Fits on Trapper. Fits on Disciples for just air damage. It's okay. Are we dead set on the Blessing? I'm not. Do you guys want to vote for these? We need 2 of the 4 out. All right. I'll let chat vote on this. Do you guys always misspell Judgment? I always misspell Judgment. I feel like there should be an E in Judgment. I'm not sure why there isn't. It should feel like Judgment with an E. Am I misspelling it right now? No, I'm not. I always feel like it should have an E, but it never does. It's awkward. All right. Blessing. Pick vote for all the ones you want, because you can vote multiple times for this, and the 2 with the highest votes will be removed. I'm going to put 1 Disciple over there too. I can't drag 1 visually, but I'll put it in the chat for you. So we're removing 2 of the 5 cards there. God, this Yargle's name is really long to type. All right. Let me know. Is there even room? Did it like do a second line? Oh, it did a second line. Look at that. So we need to remove 2 of these. Pick 2. Picks 2, chat.
A renewal. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Keanu.
Back to the home of the Yargle.
That's right. Back to the home of the Yargle. That's what I'm known as. FilthyRobot. Home of the Yargle. Pick to keep or pick to remove. You're removing. You're voting to remove. Oh, God. You've picked 2. We're removing 2 of the 5. So vote the ones you want off. You're voting off the island. The winners remain. The winners are removed. The winners of the poll. The losers of the poll. The most frequently voted of the poll are removed. The rest are celebrated as heroes of chat. So let me know. I believe in you guys. You voted for all of them. Well, you know how they say every vote matters? Yours actually doesn't when you vote for all of them. When you vote for all of them, your vote doesn't matter. But it's good. I mean, it sets that baseline higher. I guess it looks like I have more engaged viewers than I do. So I thank you for that. What do we have, chat? I'm getting tired of trolling. It's time to start losing. Yargle's leading the way. Glutton of Urberg, Valiant Frog Spirit, and Champion of Chat is being voted off the island. And then the next highest, really neck and neck. You guys are slightly ahead on the Cabal Paladin. Okay. I'm gonna give you 30 more seconds. I'm gonna walk away, fill my glass with water, look for the puppy to add to the Cruel Paladin's card, and then we're gonna do something. So I'll see you guys in just a second. The moderators were champions of chat. You are like herders of chat, like a well-trained border collie, happily I think it's border collie, whatever that dog is that does the sheep herding. We'll be back in a second. All right, chat. What did you pick for me? All right, this is the finals. All right, 57 of you voted for Yargle. Get off, Yargle. Get out of here. And then Cabal Paladin, done. All right, the deck is complete. It is a perfect masterpiece full of no mistakes. It will only go to, is 9-8 all right? 9-8's... It's a little heavy on black mana sources. We want to be able to play our Bairds. All right, it will go to 12 wins. 12 wins. What do we need for a icon? Yes. What is this? This is definitely the icon. And is this me or chat? Can we even tell? Someone's salty. All right. Let's bring someone salty for a run. Okay.